Okay, we're here in Temecula. You just bought a building, our fourth building for New Venture Escrow. Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
So what makes you buy the buildings where you house New Venture Escrow?
So this started in 2017, and I kind of fell into it. I had a couple of investments outside of business, and I decided, why not create space that can help the business? So in 2017, I 1031 from multifamily into office to build something different for escrow. And it got me out of, had a bunch of multifamily in Oklahoma that I randomly got into. So I 1031 from there into the office space, got a really good loan, and built a space that was unique and different. And there's some tax advantages and some things with the 1031. Yeah. And then once you buy, you rent to yourself, you can build whatever you want. That was interesting to me.
So then you can be your own landlord.
My own landlord.
Buildings, and then you can rent out to whoever you want.
Well, you know what? I didn't like landlords. I never did. They always tell you what you can do from like a design perspective. It was always really expensive. Oh, yeah. There was just always things. And I'd been renting in San Diego for over 20 years, and I just said, you know what? With the tax advantages, there's got to be a better way to do it. So we tried it.
Enough, right?
Yeah. So now here we are on number 4.
But it didn't all start with like owning business or buildings, right? Like. Take us back to where you started with, not even before escrow.
Yeah, it wasn't. I had always bought in multiple businesses and had multiple things that I was involved in. Then I started to focus back on escrow, and when I did start to focus on escrow, realized that space was an important part. Escrow was done in an office. Even today after COVID, it's still done in an office, and events and the bigger picture as far as how we network and brand with our agents and clients and community, those things are done, normally in event spaces or office, and we wanted to do them both here. So, owning that part of it was important. A lot of people think like if you buy a building, you've got to have a bunch of money. Yeah. And there's a lot of like small business loans that my first like opportunity to own a building, it's 10% down, and even some of the 10%, you can seller finance. There's like a lot of creative ways on commercial that, a lot of people don't think of. So, that's the biggest part, is that I was able to get in for a super low dollar amount, control all of the, the construction and the design. Yeah. People don't think like that.
Well, people also don't think like, oh, they see New Venture's growing so fast, you guys are just buying offices left and right, but it didn't grow that fast, right? Like it didn't start like this. It didn't start with you just buying a building and then...
No, nothing really starts fast. I think people maybe promote it once they're kind of rolling, but the first, several years, it's tough. You have no clients, you have no staff, I'm doing accounting, I'm doing marketing, I'm doing sales, I'm starting to learn how to do an escrow. Like all of that stuff in the beginning was just super stressful. And also too, I'm so old that social media wasn't quite as prevalent, but yeah, you're just doing so much that you don't talk about it. Then as you kind of scale and grow, you have more people to do different things.
And you started in the business at 21?
In the real estate space, yeah, in 21. Yeah, right out of college.
But you didn't have that mentality like everyone, of just like, let's make a lot of money, party, and spend all this cash. Like you had a different kind of mentality.
It was always to continue to scale. So I always look at it as like chess versus checkers. So if you're playing checkers, you're just trying to kind of win the game. If you're playing chess, more strategic, like looking at not just what the next move, but what's 3 or 4 moves down. Yeah. And so, yeah, I think money, especially in the beginning, and especially where I was at that stage in my life, was super important. But it wasn't just make money for myself. It was make money, better something, or grow something, or scale something, do something different to keep stimulating like my creativity, or build up other people and do leadership, stuff like that.
It seems like you've now started to get into like other investments too. Like none of this has just been like, okay, escrow is super lucrative. It's just all been, from escrow. It's been, you also kind of check out some new things and like to look into different investments that are kind of interesting too, right?
Yeah, I think for me, looking at different technologies, different real estate investments, there's a lot of different things, and I've always been a doer and a trier, and if things don't work, be like flexible enough to pivot. So, I'm lucky enough, I guess not lucky enough, but I don't have kids, and so that gives me this, it's affordable for me to go try different things, and I'm also just responsible for myself. So, people have different stages of their lives where they can take more chances. I'm in one of those stages where there's certain monies that I can, be more aggressive or kind of scale back. It wasn't always like that. And, escrow had to be, kind of solidified, but I've always been, since I was 21, always been an entrepreneur, and I've always put a lot of money into investments. Those investments, you can kind of keep doubling them. So where I started with 4 single family investment properties. That turned into multifamily. The multifamily turned into office. So it's just constantly like, where am I going to level up? Not only looking at the investments, but what are you paying in taxes? I was always like, how do I keep my tax bill as low as possible with making the most amount of money?
So you're always super savvy with that, it seems like. I think that being like escrow owner, you've been in this space for so long, and you're actually doing things that we're kind of selling, right? You walk the talk, basically.
Well, and that's the thing. We wanted to expand our market, so not just do residential, then we did commercial. Yeah. Now we're escrowing businesses, and we're escrowing Bitcoin, and we're escrowing, just keep expanding, building, because I think it gets stagnant. I just don't want to stay in San Diego. I want to expand markets. I don't want to just do, real property. I want to do boats and jewelry and artwork. Those are exciting new things to kind of learn, and how do you go market those things? Always like, what's next? Yeah. Not that I'm never happy. Well, actually, no, I'm always happy, but never content.
We're all just a little ADD, right?
That's right.
We can't stay still too long.
Well, you know what? One of the other things that, since we're talking, that I think is really important, I thought about this a lot, is that to attract top talent is one thing, but to keep top talent, like yourself, you don't stay somewhere if we're not constantly doing new and exciting things.
You have to keep changing things up, because yes, escrow and real estate can get really stagnant, and it can get boring.
Yeah.
But if you keep changing it up, I always say the reason why I love what I do is because it's changing every day. Every day is different, and then we're always talking about something new ideas, new products. Every year, it's like, all right, what's the new product? Let's go.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
What's the new office?
Yeah. So you want to walk through it and
walk
see?
Through it. I'm super excited.
See this office.
The one thing I do love about you, Case, is that you're always still so involved. Like here, we're about to break down some walls in this building.
We are.
You still are at the office every day. You're the first one there. Not always the last one to leave, but first one there.
I know. I used to be the last to leave. Not anymore.
Not anymore. I
got to work out.
But you're still putting the hours. You're still always there. You're still always there for the team, and you're just like you live it with all of us. So I do think that's super admirable.
Thank you.
Because you're still a part of it. You're still living it with all of us.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I think a lot of that is having a really good team. The second part is just doing something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
And so if you have those two things, what else are we going to do?
And you have good people.
It's fun.
Right?
Yeah, we have really good people. Yeah. This is the room where we're breaking some walls. One of the things with every building that we're doing is demo day. So not only is demo day where you get to take a sledgehammer to a wall and start the actual official construction of rebuilding this into what the vision is for not only the space but the company.
Yeah.
But it's to bring people together and have everyone be part of something, which is team building, which is them being part of a vision, not just, hey, can you do a lot of escrow, but can you be part of a culture that is going to be designing and building and having more fun than just escrow.
And we've done this now with Chula Vista and then Mission Valley.
Yep.
And
Carlsbad
the team loves it.
Yep.
It's so much fun. And again, you get to see it how it is now, and then you almost kind of forget what it looked like once it's all built and beautiful. Mm-hmm. You walk into our Mission Valley office or Chula Vista office, and they're gorgeous spaces, and you kind of say, what was this before?
Right.
And it's really cool to.
There's 4 to 6, aside from this drop ceiling, there's 4 feet above that, which is going to make the room feel huge, and it just opens everything up. Makes you feel like you're in a cool event space.
When did you start seeing those things and kind of realizing that there's potential up there? How did you become someone that can just walk into a room and identify?
So I think one of the least creative people that I know. I feel like I'm very black or white, debits and credits, that kind of thing. But once you start doing it and trying to expand your mind and just think differently, what am I not thinking about? How am I looking at this stuff? So originally when I looked at office space, it's okay, how many offices can you get in? Where's the reception going to go? Then it was how do we create unique space that can be an addition or a sale or a value add? And then when you start doing that, you're all right, what else can we do? Can we, and one of the big things is how people feel. In Mission Valley, we opened up the windows and did this indoor-outdoor feel. Here, we're going to make it feel really big so the space feels like an event space that's special.
Because when you see them from the outside, even the Mission Valley Chula Vista office, you don't expect what you're going to see inside.
That's
so
right.
That's really cool because the outside does look like a traditional office building, but what you'd create inside is so magical. It's super cool.
Well, you've seen a couple of the different buildings, right? So if you look outside of this building, it looks like any other building, right? And actually,
yeah.
if you just look around, there's probably 20 buildings that look exactly like it.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we're aiming for is that when someone walks in a new Venture Escrow office, it feels like the new Venture way. Like they're like, oh, this is exactly what I expect. It's so unexpected. We're the only company that you would kind of expect it. And that's like the vision and goal for every design that we do.
I love it.
Let's get through this one as I tell all of our team. It's like one thing at a time. Don't go too much so you overextend, and make sure you stick to the basics with the business, which is, you have to be really good at doing escrow. You have to be really good at building culture. Now, because we are good at both of those things, we can take on a project that's outside of what we normally do, but you can't do 2 or 3. So we have to stick to being really good at escrow.
I love it. I've been doing really good.
Congratulations
Great.
on your first YouTube.
Yes.
This was amazing.
No.
I'm proud of you.
I'm excited.